Hello, what's up, dudes and dudettes? How we doing today? Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are okay. Should have cleared my throat before I spoke. Nick can't be here today, so it's just me. I will have to moderate the chat today. God rest my soul. Here, let me adjust the camera. No, don't. There. Hi. And how is everyone today? I hope you're doing alright. Just starting with a little warm up with this wine glass. Then I can move on to a bigger project. I do 2 sketches a day, so I got plenty of artwork to color. I hope you guys are. I finally got my face cam working. So there's that. What about this whole mixer thing? I called it. I said, this mixer thing's not gonna last. I mean, I didn't know I was gonna call it. It was like, it's kind of like a half hoping. I kind of want to try Facebook gaming, but I don't know if it's any good. It's all about layering. I think my plan is to add hints of red and a little bit of pink, because that's what I think of when I think of red wine. It might be red, but there's still some pink left in it. It's almost purple. Really. In fact, maybe I should add some purple too. That's why I grabbed this pen. I don't have my usual Copic markers. Times are tough, so I had to make do with Inkjoys. They get the job done. I had to like shake them awake at first. But once they were awake, it was really interesting to see the color spectrum. I'm gonna go over it lightly with some purple. And then I'll go back over it with the colored pencil. It will make it pop. Kind of looks like those greeting cards that you get at a Hallmark store. Should have a cheesy caption. I was gonna do an extra stream on tomorrow. Normally I don't stream on Wednesdays, but due to Blackout Wednesday for Twitch, I'm probably gonna move the extra stream to Friday. Because I really want to finish up on Ravel so I can try different games. Move the camera back just slightly. There. I have to be careful when I'm moving the camera because my camera and my light is attached. Oh no, we're dropping in frames. That's not good. Hello, welcome. Hope you're all having a good day. Nick isn't here today, so it's just me left to moderate the chat. Hope you're all staying safe and doing your best to help out during these difficult times. Love is love, and remember, Black Lives Matter. So, I was thinking about moving my extra stream to Friday. I was gonna try to do a surprise stream on Wednesday, but everybody's gonna be doing Blackout Wednesday. And since I normally don't stream on Wednesdays anyway, it's not a huge loss. Then I can still do game night on Thursday. Normally I'd have Pearl in the room with me, but she didn't seem to want to come, so no cute doggo to look at today. Hold on, I have a portrait that another Twitch artist made of Pearl. It's really cool. You should totally follow Freakmeister1 if you like dog portraits. He did this for me. That's Pearl. Yeah, I finally got my office up and running. I shared some pictures on Twitter and Instagram of what the whole area looks like, but I finally got my nerd shrine up. Got all my Funko Pops and the prints that I got from other artists at conventions. And I'm fully proud of how I came up with my set. I don't have interior design experience, but I tried my best. Yeah, so I've mostly been drawing and trying to stay sane, honestly. This whole thing's crazy. The light's kind of dark. I'm gonna turn it down just slightly so that I can see the details better. Wait. Where is it? Yeah. There we go. It's a little better. Back to the red. Because wine is a mixture of purple, red, and a hint of pink. When I was in my acrylic art class, I wasn't sure if I learned anything, but there we go. Sorry, I'm a little nervous today because normally Nick's on the chat with me, but today he's got something else to do. So I might be slightly socially awkward. I can see if I can get someone in chat with me. Just a second. Hello. How are you today? Just working on this warm up and then I'm gonna move on to another piece. Hope you're all having a good day. It is really hot where I am at. I'm trying to focus on the art instead of focusing on how warm it actually is in here. See. That will work. Usually when I'm working though, the temperature of the room slowly is forgotten. I remember in one of my animation classes, the teacher really liked it cold. So I would have to wear a jacket every time I was in the room, even during the summer and winter. Then my dad, every time I visit him, he always likes to blast the AC during the winter. I'm a little intimidated right now because normally I have my moderator here with me, but today Nick had to do some things, so it's just me today. So I'm not a super strong conversationalist, but I'll do my best. Oh shoot. I was just there. I knew I was forgetting something. Hold on. My phone will just respond. There, now it's working. Oh gosh. Huh.
Want a break from the ads? If you tap now to watch a short video, you'll receive 30 minutes of ad-free music.
Okay. Back to work. Excuse me. Am I online? Yeah, I'm online. Just checking. Hello. Hi. What's up? How's everyone today? Just working on a glass of wine. Practicing my still lifes. I'm not wearing my flame wristbands right now because they need to be cleaned. Hope you guys are all staying safe and treating each other with respect. It's always important. Actually, I think I have pencil. Here it is. Kind of. So my moderator had to go and do something, so it's just me today. I am a bit on the socially awkward side, but you guys shouldn't feel intimidated to talk to me. I'm a pretty chill person, especially when I'm working. Sorry for that clanking. That's my lap desk moving around. I haven't quite figured out how to click it back all the way. Now, if I had a deep cherry red, it would be perfect for the wine bottle because this is all about mixing. And if I had a deeper red, two. Welcome to my channel. How are you? You can't quite see it, but I'm doing a really light green for the background. So I'm planning on darkening it up a little bit. There we go. Now you can see it. Hope you guys are all having a good day. My day is kind of meh today. Mostly staying inside because it was so hot. Into the music. There we go. Pull back. Sometimes I wonder what it'd be like to get some of those cameras that have the autofocus built in. But then I think, nah, kind of like how traditional I am. There. Lee Bella, hey! Thank you for the follow. How are you? That's good. Ooh, crocheting? I'm coloring some of my art. It's what I do on my stream. I technically already do the drawings, I just color them in. I think it's a nice change of pace, you know? I'm a little nervous because my mod isn't here today. It's just me monitoring the chat today. Have you? I already asked that. But like, how have you been? Thank you. I wasn't quite sure what color to go with for the background. All I knew is that I didn't want it to just be static white. I had to add some appeal. I guess you could call them ink paintings, but I do use some colored pencil as well. So it's a bit of a mixed media. They are getting, my art style is getting pretty close to a traditional painting type look with ink and colored pencils, which is, yeah. I actually do have some acrylic paints, but I'm not Mitch. I can't, like, it would take forever for me to figure out what to paint and how to paint it. Yeah. I know some basic color theory about what colors go with what. It helps, oh yeah? Abstract? I'm kind of interested in doing surreal stuff, like Salvatore with the warped clocks, or MC Usher with the impossible staircase. That might be interesting. And I usually do a little bit of everything. Sometimes I do fan art, sometimes I do still life or studies. Like this is a still life. Yet. I just sort of draw whatever's on my brain. Like today I drew a dragon egg because I'm doing an art challenge, a monthly art challenge, and one of the prompts was egg. And so I thought, you know, I've always wanted to try some fantasy stuff. So I decided to do a dragon egg today. Should have brought that down to color. Maybe next week. I was planning on doing a bonus stream tomorrow, but tomorrow it seems like everybody's doing another blackout day for Twitch. And I don't want people to be mad at me. I honestly didn't expect this one to take so long. I was gonna have this be like a warm up, but then I got carried away and was like, I guess this is the piece I'm coloring today. I don't really have like a set plan of what I'm gonna color. I don't have like a list of this is what I'm gonna color next week. I just sort of open my sketchbook and go, I guess I'm coloring this one. One of these days I need to make a set plan. I know, right? I'm like, exactly. I'm like, it's just a warm up an hour later. I don't mind that though. A lot of my best pieces came out of me getting carried away. So, I have a small black spot here that this really does look like a painting almost. If I didn't see myself do this with ink, I would have assumed someone did this with acrylic paint. Sometimes I look at a piece that I've done and I'm like, I did that? Yep. Sometimes I don't know what to color on art night, and so I guess my intuition decides for me, and that's good. I'm very spontaneous that way. Same thing with game night. I don't always know what game I'm playing. I just sort of go, guess I'm doing Rocket League today, or guess I'm doing Unravel. I'm not a big fan of structure, but I get why it's needed sometimes. Yeah, my hand likes to guide me to my destined piece for the day. Yeah, that's how I kind of describe it. Everybody says, oh, Kira's so spontaneous. She never really plans her day. She just goes with what she wants to do. And I'm like, that's not true. I have some idea of what I want to do during the day. I remember as one of those nervous students that was like so nervous that I wouldn't graduate that I planned every second of my day. I'm like, I didn't have a tiger parent. I was my own tiger person. I was like, okay, I'm gonna draw for 3 hours and then I'm gonna do my homework for the rest of the day. I was that type of person. And now I don't do that anymore. Now I'm like as unstructured as you can possibly get. I'm just like, oh, whatever. I'll just do. Yeah. And that's how it's been ever since. Ever since I graduated high school, I just sort of went whatever to like my structured plans and just same with how I picked classes. I didn't pick classes based on the path I had to take for my animation degree. Yeah. I don't know. I think life isn't fun when you have to plan every second of your day. I'd say I plan about 50% of my day, and the other 50% is unplanned. I just go. And then sometimes I am torn between two decisions. So I do eeny, meeny, miny, mo, because who doesn't? Though sometimes leaving things to chance like that sometimes leads to bad results because sometimes you have a good feeling of what you should do that day, and it leads down somewhere else. Or sometimes I'll open my sketchbook and I'll just close my eyes and point to a random page and then go, yep, guess that's my piece for the day. Lately I've been using Pinterest to do reference photos. I used to draw everything 100% from my brain, and that sometimes was a good thing, and sometimes it was kind of hard to figure out what to draw that day when it was 100% from my brain. I'd say my artwork is now like 4 different reference photos combined now. Like I'll take an element from a picture that I like, and then I say I use 3 reference photos to create a piece now. Oh wow. So you have the you have the store people pick. I wouldn't do that for pens because pens, like you can gamble with soap, but pens, no matter what you pick with soap, it's guaranteed to smell good. But with pens, you might end up with a Rose Art or a really crappy brand off-brand, and that's not for me. I don't know. Sometime maybe I should try that sometime. Maybe I'll get lucky and someone will pick Prisma pen. Now, I've only heard of Prisma pens. I've used Prisma colored pencils, but not the pen. So, I don't know if the pen mixes as well as the colored pencils do. Yeah. I remember I was standing in a Michaels, and there was like 7 different paint, there were 7 different pen palettes. There was like earth tone, where it's like blue and brown and yellow, I guess to make like an earthly piece, And then there was Galaxy where it was like purple and pink. And I was like, I just want the whole set. I don't want just like different colors and different boxes. And so I noticed that there was one set that had all the colors, but it was watercolor pens. And I've never used watercolor pens. So I was kind of freaking out a little bit. But I decided to gamble on them and pick them anyway. And I enjoyed them. I think I might get them next time. I could dip the pens into the water. And yeah. That's what this is. The pen that I used to make this with, it's a watercolor pen, but you can use them without water, so I didn't bring any water, but if you dip them in water, oops, pen drop. If you dip them in water, it creates a watercolor effect, and it's good for water-based pieces. Yeah. Finally, a set of pens where you can dip water in it and it won't be totally useless. I remember I accidentally got water all over a Sharpie once, and it was the pen hardened and I couldn't use it anymore. I was like, damn it. Yeah. And I was pretty happy with what I was drawing at the time too. Yeah. there comes a time in an artist's life when we have to deal with random casualties of our art supplies. Sometimes it's because of us, and other times it's because they just run out. I hate when I'm in the middle of inking a piece and the black just runs out, because then I can't finish the line art. And then I can't color the piece because it's not done yet. Ironically, when I first started this channel, I first started with digital art. It was kind of challenging because I had to use my right hand, and I'm a lefty. So I was glad when I finally got a tablet, but then I was trying to do my research on how to do a traditional art stream. And at first, I didn't know what to do because nobody gave me any straight answers. They're like, oh, just get a camera and pick the medium that you want, and ta-da! And I'm like, okay, what kind of camera? What range? What lights, you know? I'm still clueless on what to do, but thankfully, I've been going traditional for about a few months now, and I think it's gone good for my channel, you know? Even if nobody really knows how it works. Not even the people who have been streaming traditional for years know how it works. I guess they just picked a random camera and hoped for the best. Yeah. I was a traditional artist before. I only did digital when I streamed. And now I'd say I'm like 80% traditional now. Yeah, that's why I was always crying about to my family. And I was like, oh, my digital art streams are cool and all, but I can't use my pens. And they're like, well, why don't you do research on how to stream your pen drawings? And I refused for the longest time because I'm stubborn. Plus, I was in high school with no job. I couldn't get any, like, resources on my own. I had to hope that I had a good Christmas present that involved a camera. I'd say I didn't get a job until my first year of college, and that was because I wanted to graduate high school. I wanted to focus on graduating high school, that a job would just be another responsibility I wasn't ready for. So I've only had 2 jobs in my life so far. I know I'm probably due to get another one soon. And since I only stream 2 days a week, it's not a huge loss if I don't, uh, if I'm not online as often. Mitch was one of the first Twitch art streamers I've ever seen. I mean, he was recommended to me, and I was like, kind of surprised that so many were tuning into an art stream because yeah, I just don't have the charisma quite yet. But I'd say that my chat experience varies from really good to there's hardly anyone in chat, and I'm mostly just watching myself draw. I've had 3. I did 1 or 20. Oh yeah. Yeah. They always tell you that in showbiz, you need to have charisma. And unfortunately, I'm a bit of a introvert and I'm a bit socially awkward. If you meet anyone in my real life, they will tell you I get kind of nervous around people. That's another reason why I got Twitch to practice talking in front of people without having to worry about facing them. And then I was like, well, I've heard streams that have cameras do better, so I'm gonna get a camera anyway. That's true. I've mostly just been humming along with the music and talking about mixing the colors, like how I arrived at this palette. My stream is one part art tutorial, one part chilled conversation, and one part music streaming, I guess, because I'm streaming this chill music off onto the side. I guess you could say I'm an art DJ. Yeah. And depending on what the chat's like during the day, the percentage of how much it's chat or how much of it is music is solely dependent on the turnout that day. And I don't mind having a chill, slow day. Sometimes I kind of welcome the idea of not having so many people in chat. That way I don't have to keep track of so many people. Especially since my moderator had to do something today, so he's not here. I only have one moderator. So. I like how when I finally turn the music back up, the ads start playing. Freaking Spotify. Best timing in the world. Thank you. It's nice to hear that. When I saw people coming in and out, I was unsure if it was me or what. You know what's funny is that when I had my art table at a convention and I had to sit there and sell my prints, I had my moderator with me. He is more of a charismatic person. I'm the talent and he's the guy that can speak to people. It's kind of our dynamic. I tried my best to sell it on my own. I was like, $2 prints. And there people were like, oh, only $2, huh? My family is like, you shouldn't sell yourself short. If you only do $2, people are gonna think your artwork isn't worth enough. I've gone as an attendee for a convention for a long time, and I know for a while I didn't know why. Yeah. For a while I didn't know why the art costed so much. And then I had to get a table of my own. The table was $365. So for every issue that I sold of Color Palette, which is my comic that I created, and for every print that I sold, I had to make up the amount that I lost, but I only got about $80, which to me, I'm like, I'm rich. But to my mom, she's like, you made minus amount. You didn't make enough to pay off the table. And I was like, I don't care. I just like making art and sharing it with people. If I was in it for the money, I would have picked a different profession. Exactly. 2 halves of a whole. Not bad. Ooh. I have like all my pens on the side of my desk, so I'm trying desperately to not have them crash all over the floor again. I've never heard of an art DJ before. But I guess I'm special. Speaking of which, back to the music. If you see me adjusting my glasses, it's because my glasses don't fully fit on my head, so I have to keep adjusting them. I left a space for my signature, so I'm gonna do that. Ironically, the first place I learned how to do pens was in a pop art or graffiti class. So I have some pop art influences in my style. Yeah. I got a hand knitted Markiplier hat from my boyfriend at the convention. It was $15. Pretty big steal for a convention. And then trying to think of what else I can color. Actually, I have smaller drawings that I made. Hold on a second. I'm gonna grab the other drawings. Until then, take a look at the sweet lava lamp. Okay, I brought over the other drawings. I think I have one that I've been holding out on coloring for quite a while that I think would be good for today. First I gotta see. Some of these as you can tell, I've been busy during quarantine. Gonna move these ones. Yeah, I go to Artist Alley frequently when I go to conventions. As a struggling artist myself, I always try to help out the other artists that are there. I don't expect them to return a favor. It's just kind of, I just kind of want to get something nice for my wall, you know? This sketchbook is a lot bigger than the other one. The wine picture was in another sketchbook, so I have to pull back significantly. Let's see. Yeah, let's do this one. And then after this one, I think I'll find somebody to read. But this one might take a while. Thank you. I like to do a little bit of everything, you know? Some people think they have to be confined to being a fandom artist, or a fine artist, or a digital artist, or an editor. I do a little bit of everything. I do fan edits, regular edits, ink sketches. Sometimes I do poem and song covers. Sometimes I play video games. I'm like, why can't I do everything? Because some people don't like that. Some people say, oh, you shouldn't do that. You should just stick to one thing. I feel like Four from Divergent, he said to Triss, I don't want to just be one thing. It's like, I want to be a gamer. I want to be a graphic editor. I want to be a writer. Why can't I be all of them? I think it's because people get intimidated by other people who have multiple talents. And so they feel like they have to be confined into this one corner. It's like being at a high school lunch table. You got the gaming streamers, the film and movie discussion people. I talk about movies all the time on here. As an animation student, I talk a lot about Pixar and DreamWorks and stuff. Yeah. I try to pour my heart and soul in my work, and when I upload my drawings on social media and not really expecting a huge turnout, especially for the line arts, because most people, when they see a black and white drawing, they just go, whatever. My colored work does a lot better. Yeah. Thank you. There are some days when I just upload a half-assed doodle, though, because we all have those moments when we're like, I don't care. Yeah. It's like when people go, why are your line art so flat and uninteresting? I go, because they are drafts for a future stream. If I color them, then I'll have nothing to stream.
It's time to expect more from the web.
And truly, I did do a digital art stream or two where I did the drawing from start to finish, and I don't know. I just feel like having the line art good and ready makes it easier for me to stream it, because if I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to the drawing, so it would take like 4 hours just to do this whole thing. But if I just do coloring, then it's only about 2 to 3 hours, and then I've cut it down. You know, I cut it down to a reasonable time for people to watch. I'm not expecting people to stay for 4 to 5 hours of this. I don't know if my hands can do that. Yeah, most people like color, they gravitate to it, you know? As human beings, we instinctually are drawn to color, so when we see something that's black and white, it feels wrong. It feels off putting, you know? That's kind of why I half hoped that the reboot of the Twilight Zone would still stay black and white. But you know, I'm kind of sad I don't get to watch it because it's on CBS Access and I don't have CBS Access. I think it's by Keel or Peel. I don't know which one it is, but when I found out that a comedian was doing a horror film, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It reminds me of when Jim Carrey did 23. It wasn't a very liked movie. It wasn't well received, but I kind of liked it. And normally I don't watch horror films. You know? Yeah. And then I usually like to upload 2 sketches a day. I feel like I tend to gravitate more towards thriller, action, or comedy. Or sometimes I like a dramedy film where it's like comedy and drama mixed together. And I always like write. Normally, a writer, they like to just stick with the genre that they're writing the entire time. Me, I feel like a story is good when it combines all genres together. I usually like to mix a little bit of magic, a little bit of mystery and thriller into my stories. You know, I like superhero hero films, obviously, and I love talking about superhero films. I thought about doing movie and film discussions on my YouTube channel, but I'm not sure people would like it. So I like me just talking about film, so I haven't done it. But it feels like a waste, because I've taken all these animation and film classes and I want to share my knowledge of what I've learned because I've been in college for like 8 years now. I hope to graduate soon. Getting there. Oh, yeah. I've been catching up with Supernatural. I'm on season 11. Um, there's some kind of weird dark zombies. I always thought it was weird in zombie films that nobody tried to cure them and they just went right to like killing them. So when Warm Bodies came out, I was kind of shocked. I was like, what? They're trying to look for a cure? For real? I like Warm Bodies. I like the fact that it's like a zombified Romeo and Juliet. It's an interesting angle. I read the book like 13 times, and I've watched the movie countless times. I really like Nicholas Holt. He's a good actor. And the fact he was able to disguise his British accent for R. I've tried acting, and unless my character is told to be angry or really upset, I'm sort of not very convincing as an actor. Yeah. I'm not sure if I want to or if I'm just convincing myself I want to finish, because that's what my family wants. It's like I want to make my family happy. but I also don't want to conform to what they want. My parents were never like, you have to go to Yale or Harvard or else, but they did have high expectations for me. So, while most people kind of went on the fence about what they wanted to do in my class, I was always like, I want to be an artist. And they're like, still? I'm like, I want to be an artist tomorrow, in the future, and in the present. Yeah. I've taken, I think the one thing that's prevented me from graduating college is the fact that I keep taking breaks for work. I can't do work and school at the same time. I've tried. I have a mental disability, and sometimes it's hard for me to do multiple different things at once. My brain is not hardwired to do a lot at the same time. So when I was working at an amusement park, I only worked 2 days, but those were 2 stressful days. And I streamed 4 days a week. I used to do 2 days of art and 2 days of gaming. But it was really stressful to keep up with my film and animation classes on top of that. I had to have time to edit the footage and the animation. So I cut it down to 2 days, 1 day of art and 1 day of gaming. And I've been like that ever since. And then I spend 5 days on Twitter and Instagram posting my sketch drawings to prepare for my coloring streams. 12 years of college? Jeez. Hey, when you get there, you get there. My mom said she did 10 years of college, and I'm approaching 7, so I'm getting up there. One of the things that I bought along with the other equipment was a green screen, but when we were moving, I don't know what happened to it. What would I even put on the green screen anyway? Nick joked around about having a spewing lava background, and I'm like, isn't that a little distracting? Yeah. It's like I'm not slow. I can comprehend what people are saying to me, but sometimes I might trail off and cut off my sentence midway and change the conversation. It's part of my ADHD. So if I accidentally change the topic in a conversation, I'm sorry, you know? Yeah. I don't know, I just feel like that's kind of already the background from my stream already. Yeah, or sometimes I'll end up stopping talking. Like I'll be so focused with the drawing that I'll forget that I was talking. Especially during the gaming streams, like when I'm streaming Rocket League, it's a very fast-paced game. So sometimes I'll be 1 minute I'll be talking to chat, and the next minute I'll like end up uh I'll just end up forgetting that I was talking. I know it's hard to believe since I'm talking to you right now, but my the doctor said I would never be able to speak. It's like if he saw me now, He'd be eating his words. I'm kind of glad I'm able to speak. Can you imagine me just going throughout my life trying to get people's attention through sign language or writing stuff down in a notebook? I think I'd be driven crazy. Sorry. I know people say be yourself, but sometimes I feel like that's not really what people want. You know what I mean? Sorry, ad break. The music will be back shortly. I really need to get extra money so I can afford Spotify Premium. So, like, when I'm in streams, right, there is this community that I like to watch called Decorate Games. And it's, Brian. Brian is, he plays Connor in Detroit Become Human. And he has his own channel. And sometimes he does these giveaway drawings. And I never win. So when I won the raffle in Mitch's channel for the little art card, I was like, what? I won? I never win anything. Yeah. Same. At home, I wouldn't say unpleasant, just a little bit impatient. You know, sometimes my mom likes to nitpick. She goes, "Oh, don't stand that way. Don't sit that way." You know? And so I try not to let it get to me, but sometimes it does. Yeah. And they say in the chat you're supposed to, if you're a subscriber you get 5 times entry. I've been in the channel for almost, I've been part of that community for almost 2 years. Actually, it's been 2 years, and I never won anything. It's like, I know I'm kind of sounding salty right now, but I'm like, that's why my family has been kind of unlucky. We never really win any contests that we enter. So when we won the PS4 a couple years ago at a Taco Bell, I was like, what? Whew, I'm gonna have to save this for next time. I normally try to finish my piece all in one stream. I don't normally like to save it for later because my impulsive need to finish it creeps up. Is Mitch on today? Do you know? I heard he had some sort of mic problem. Oh, okay. Might try to raid him, although we don't really have a lot of people in chat today to raid. I think you need at least 6 people to raid for it to be a decent raid. So maybe Sunday. If I raid him right now, I'll just say I'm hosting. Nothing wrong with hosting. I'll probably finish up this lily pad and then I'll raid Mitch. Yeah, that's true. See what I mean? I can be a bit of a pessimist too. I'm like, oh, I only have like 4 people. There were 4 people at one time. You know what's weird is my view interactions have decreased. I used to get like 8 or 9 people in here, and now I only get like 2. I think it's because of all the protests and everything. Everybody's focusing their attention on something else right now. I kind of get it. It's hard to be on social media right now. Oh yeah, that too. I was thinking about streaming earlier today, like at like 2 or 3, but decided against it, thinking that most people are probably gonna be at work or at school. That's kind of why I started streaming at 6 o'clock, because that's usually when people come back from work. At least it's 6 o'clock my time. 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time is usually when I streamed. I've been starting 1 year, not 1 year, 1 year early. I was about to say 1 hour early. Lately, I've been streaming at 5 instead of 6. It's been 1 hour early. I was kind of sad about the copyrighted music thing on Twitch because I wanted to do a sound alert using a popular song, but now I'll just have to make my own intro music. I've taken a few sound design and music creation classes. Exactly. I've actually been streaming for almost 2 years now. My 2 year anniversary is coming up. I think it's on August 25th. No, August 25th is when I uploaded something onto Twitch for the first time. Um, my it's August 27th. August 27th, 2018. Yeah. I was thinking about doing a longer stream, but I'd have to do some wrist exercises. It really depends on what day it falls on. If it falls on game night, then I'll probably do a game. My game night's on Thursday. Don't you hate it when you're coloring something and then it's on the crease of the sketchbook? But yeah. Oh wow. A whole week of streaming to celebrate my 2 year anniversary on Twitch. That would be cool. We could just do 3 days of gaming, 3 days of art. Hey Downey, what's up? Oh darn, he hosted me. Now I have to stay for 30 minutes. How you doing, Downey? You celebrated your birthday for the whole month? My birthday's on August, so my birthday isn't for another 2 months. I'm a Leo, which is the element of fire. Yeah, it's a rule. Yeah, it's a rule made by another Twitch streamer that I watch. Um, Freakmeister1. He paints dogs and cats, and his rule was if somebody hosts or raids him, he has to stay on the stream for 30 minutes. Yeah. If you want to hear something crazy, I think I've been connected to the element of fire since the very day I was born. No joke. My name means sun or light. I was from Sunnyvale. My high school was the Firebirds. I am a Leo, which is fire, you know, the element of fire. And then, yeah, so if you guys don't know, or in case you guys don't watch Outlander, my last name, Mackenzie, is from the Highland clans of Scotland, and our motto is "I shall not burn," or "A Mackenzie always makes it through the flames," as they say. So I have about 6 reasons why I go by Fire Crystal. The 6th reason is because I have a character named Fire Crystal, which is from one of my original stories, which became super popular on my DeviantArt page. Yeah, and so I decided to make her my mascot. So if I had any emotes, it'd be a Fire Crystal, not of me. And maybe a Pearl emote. Yep. I'm always unburnt, never toasted. I think that's good because it gives me an opportunity to finish this up. I don't want to rush or anything, but I'm always toasted. Good one, Downey. How have you been? I've been meaning to catch your streams. It's just you stream at like 3 a.m. for me, so time zones are a bit of an issue. That's good. I've mostly been drawing and posting my drawings and talking about drawing. You get the pattern. Oh yeah. I've been too scared to get a new job. You see, I recently moved to a new place 2 or 3 months ago during the quarantine. So luckily we got a place with an extra room, so I have an office now. I don't stream in my living room anymore. It feels weird to have a studio. You know, a space of my very own. Yeah. I just hope you're taking breaks and that you need. Oof. I used to work at an amusement park, and one time they decided to schedule me at Cinco de Mayo, and I was like, okay, I I don't mind. No time for breaks. Aw. Where do you work? If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. All in. My family likes to play this game called Farkle. It's basically a game of dice. And sometimes you can choose to um, use all the dice or put the fives, 1 and 5s back because you can score every time you get a 1 and 5. But if you don't, you farkle. One time I had a chance to do an all in, and so I took it, and then I didn't get any 1s or 5s, so I farkled, and it was embarrassing. Sometimes I'm good at gambling, other times I should stick to pens. I remember when my family and I went to Reno. I was only 20 at the time, so I couldn't really enjoy a casino yet. It just basically means you failed. You know, you're out. And then when my family and I played Cards Against Humanity, my parents realized just how dirty I can be. They're like, Kira, that's really raunchy of you. And I'm like, oops. I was like, the whole part of the game is to be the most despicable person you can be, right? Yeah. I laugh so hard when I play Cards Against Humanity. And then I mostly been trying to manage my social media accounts. The amount of follows doesn't really matter that much to me anymore. I used to stress over it a lot. I used to go, oh, I got 5 unfollows in one day because I decided to do a music cover instead of an art or game video. And now I'm like, I have a voice. I'm gonna use it. That's why I was thinking about doing a Twitch Sings Day because that's the only karaoke app that I can use on Twitch without getting a. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people keep telling me that. They're like, stop stressing out about it. Just be yourself. Exactly. I want to experiment, you know? I thought about doing movie reviews or something, or movie analysis on my YouTube channel. I need some exclusive content on my YouTube channel because so far right now I just use YouTube as a Twitch dump. You know, I just use my YouTube for to export my videos after I'm done streaming. So if you guys ever missed any streams and the videos and on demand has expired, you know, yeah. And then, hey Vince Vixen, what's up? Long time no see. Um, I've been doing good. I did a glass of wine earlier. And don't worry, you guys. I got plenty of stuff to color. I have a huge pile back here of just drawings. I remember during when quarantine was announced, I was catching up to my sketches. I was like, oh no, pretty soon I'll run out of things to color. And now I have too much. No, I'm like, I have too much stuff to color, but I continue to draw new stuff. Alright. See you soon, Downey. So I've been good. Just been drawing and trying to stay sane. I'm not meant to be cooped up in one area. I have been taking walks, but I try to keep them very brief because I don't want to stay out for too long. I've been just trying to get my art out there, trying to sign as many petitions as I can. I signed like 5 petitions for the Black Lives Matter movement. I signed a petition for LGBTQ rights. Let me put the music back on. There we go. How was lighting and audio, guys? Can you see everything okay? It looks a little dark on my end. Well, thank you, Vince. Vixen. Yeah, I wanted to pick a color that would stand out. I thought about making them purple, but maybe I'll just do purple highlights. Welcome everybody to Art Night. Don't let my username fool you. I do a bunch of different stuff on this channel. Music, art, gaming. Let me see those peepers. I'm not sure I know what you mean. I just got through talking to someone about the fact that my stream is one part art tutorial, one part chill discussion, and one part me being a DJ. Streaming music. Sorry. It's just when I'm working, I need to look at the piece. So I don't do fourth wall breaks. Just kidding. Hi everyone. I'm Carolee McKenzie. I'm a multimedia artist. Welcome to my channel. Yeah, I need to practice that. Ironically, a few days ago, when I switched to my laptop camera, I had more interaction with the camera then. Hey novice, what's up? How have you been? He is a pretty chill frog. This was a piece that I've been putting off coloring for a while. I made this back in April, I think. But that's how far back my sketches go. From the beginning of quarantine to now, I have so many pieces to color. I'd say I have 3 sketchbooks, almost 4 sketchbooks to color. Then I have a few loose sketches that I've done. I always go out to the lines. Yeah, me too usually, but since I made the lines myself, it's easy for me to figure out like I don't know, the lines are more for guidance. Sometimes I do go outside the lines. It depends on the complexity of the piece, how challenging it is. But this piece doesn't seem super hard, so I'm able to follow the lines. It also depends on how good my line art was that day. Sometimes I run out of ink and the lines are faded and I have to guess. I'm like, dang it. But it looks like this one I had good ink. So I'm able to So if you guys don't know, this isn't the full on advertising, but just to let you guys know, I have a Discord server and it has a go live channel and some memes and an art channel. So if you guys want an invite, let me know. And I'll try to whisper you with my Discord server link. Not a lot of activity yet, but I hope for that to change. You guys can talk into my main chat on Discord called the Campfire Chant. But I swear to God, if someone does Kumbaya, just kidding. I've always had an interest in coloring even as a kid. When I was first starting to stream, I started with digital and I never had a tablet before, so to get used to the tablet, I used to stream me doing coloring pages. Now I don't. This is 100% my work. I colored and drew all of this. At first, my thought process for the coloring pages was that people weren't going to be interested in my real work. But I'm so glad that was wrong. But I might edit a coloring page one of these days. Sometimes it's good practice, you know? There's this guy on YouTube that I watch. He's like a comic book artist. So he takes like a Spider-Man comic. He takes like a Spider-Man coloring book, and he made it look like a professional coloring page. I was like blown away. Alright. So time to add some of the purple. There's this thing that we have in the art world. It's like it's like coloring gets the credit, but shading does the work. So I say coloring, but it's also a lot of shading as well that I'm doing. Oh my god, that's so annoying. And in painting, when you're doing the sketches and then you're painting on top of it, you're like destroying your work and then you're building it back up again. That's how my painting teacher described it. Yeah. And that's kind of what I do when I do my coloring pieces at first. It feels a little clumsy. The coloring feels unsure, but once I figure out what I'm gonna do, I build my art back up. I call it Bob Rossing it because sometimes he like ruins his piece, but then he finds it again. I say that because sometimes I watch Bob Ross. Yeah, exactly. And then as soon as I'm done with this one, I think I'll be done for the day. Gosh, it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. You tried that? Well, a lot of it is also patience and practice. I've been drawing for about, how old am I? I'm 24, so I've been drawing for about 22 years. So some people pick up drawing later in life when they're like in middle school, and then they're just like a natural, you know, they're just really good. And other people have to really work for it. I was in the had to really work for it camp. You know what I mean? Turns out not having friends has its advantages. Yep. Yeah. I just feel like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy drawing a lot, but it's also stressful because I feel like there's a lot of pressure to make my artwork really good all the time. And if I do a messy sketch, people will hate me for it or something. So I try to make my lines as clean as possible. But I feel like my art reflects my personality. Messy, yet organized. Because the lines aren't 100% clean. If you really look at how I draw. And pen drops, of course. You can't have an art stream with me without my pens dropping at least once. And you missed it. I dropped my pen ages ago. If I do it now, it's not authentic. It would just be like, oops. I was really nervous because my moderator wasn't here today. I only have one moderator in my chat. Now hiring for the fire brigade. Perks. Seeing cool art all the time. Must be willing to put up with sarcasm, because that's like 90% of my personality. Exactly. A lot of I just noticed a lot of people on Twitter are getting upset over artists for doing propaganda pieces to respond to the Black Lives Matter movement. And I feel like saying, have you never seen World War II or World War One or the disillusionment era after during the Depression? Artists have always drawn and depicted things that were happening around the world during the time. It's kind of a staple at this point. Or the political cartoons. I love those. Those political comics that you see from time to time. Yeah. But here's the thing, Vince Vixen, I don't do anything unless I'm authentic about it. I'm not just gonna drop a pen because you missed the pen drops. If I drop a pen, it's because I'm clumsy. Believe me, the chances are I'll drop another pen eventually. You won't miss anything. Exactly. So when I saw these angry tweets about people getting upset over doing propaganda work for Black Lives Matter or for Pride Month, I was like, have you not seen history? Artists have always depicted what was going on in the world. It's not a new concept, you know? During the Depression, artists drew people depressed. During the Renaissance, people drew people drinking and having parties. You know, it's all about. And when there's a political crisis, you have the artists that draw political comics, you know? It's always been a thing. Always. I try not to get too bent out of shape about it. I'm just. I just agree that it's good art and move on. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I have to have some hand-eye coordination to do this, but sometimes I like to stack my pens all in one area, and that causes me to drop my pens. I think it makes me more human, you know? I could just store my pens back into the cup, but where's the fun in that? When this Twitch thing happened with the music and clips, I'm kind of glad that I stored most of my clips on Instagram. Nowadays, my Instagram is about artwork, but I used to put my Rocket League and other gaming streams on there as clips. I might start doing that again, but we'll see. I thought about making a new Instagram just to post my clips. It would just be like Fire Crystal Clips or something like that. We'll see. Oh, that sounds really frustrating, Vixen. I know the struggles of trying to take a photo. As you guys may or may not know, I don't have a scanner. All my drawings I take a picture of on my cell phone. So if the lighting in the room sucks, so does the picture of the drawing. It's a sad reality I've learned to live with. Sometimes when I get bad feedback on a drawing, I go, no, it's not. It's not the quality of the colors, it's the lighting of the room when I took the photo. I never really noticed this, but lighting can affect how good or bad a drawing is. So I always try to make sure that my drawings are as good as possible, but sometimes, when I try to force it, like right now, I would say I'm going through some sort of art block right now. And normally, what I do is I just force myself to draw, and that just isn't healthy. You guys can't see what I'm doing because I'm there. I don't know why, but the chat overlay isn't working again. Normally, this empty spot right here on my overlay, there would be a spot where the chat would pop up for me. But I'll have to take a look at it. I didn't realize that the chat overlay wasn't working again. Hold on, I think. I'll have to take a look at it next week. So, as some of you guys may or may not know, I've been trying to get Remote Play to work on my laptop so that when I do my gaming stream, I might be able to stream Unravel or Rocket League, and we might be able to see my overlay not just during my art streams. But as of right now, this can only be seen during my art streams, During my gaming streams, I don't have a camera. I think I'll save this for next time. I'm almost done with the piece. I just gotta work on the water and this other lily pad over here. So thank you for joining me. I hope to see you next week for the conclusion of this piece on Tuesday. And if you want to join me for a gaming stream, I'll be streaming at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursday. So I hope to see you next time. I hope you create and inspire. Now let's see if we can find somebody to raid.